Hello and welcome to the PMP Situation Room. Today we have a series of questions from the process domain. Here's your first question. A project with a decided upon schedule baseline is at risk of missing its deadline, which could impact its value delivery. All leads and lags have been implemented in the schedule. The resource allocation has been kept consistent. The project manager needs to make decisions to keep the project on track. What should the project manager do? A. Reassess the project plan to prioritize activities that directly contribute to business value. B. Extend the schedule to ensure all planned activities are completed for the stakeholders to receive value. C. Increase the number of resources to accelerate all remaining project activities and have a better chance of success. Or D, focus on risk management to identify potential future delays by reassessing leads, lags, and the baseline. I'll give you some time to think about it. Hit the pause button for more time. The best answer to this question, my friends, is A. Reassess the project plan to prioritize activities that directly contribute to business value. Reassessing the project plan to focus on value-adding activities aligns with delivering business value under urgency. In task 1 of the process domain, extending the deadline could further impact the business value. Increasing resources may not be efficient or feasible, and while focusing on risk management is important, it doesn't directly address the urgency for delivering business value. Take note of the real problem in the question. Let's use the highlighter to look a little bit closer at this one. It says, the resource allocation has been kept consistent. The project manager needs to make decisions to keep the project on track. But why do you want to keep the project on track? Missing the deadline. But not just that, it's because the deadline is tied to value delivery. So to deliver value, your best bet is to prioritize activities that directly contribute to value. It's a way of saying be agile by being lean, if that makes sense. Let's move on to the next question. Question 2. Question 2 reads, you are the project manager on a large-sized artificial intelligence project involving several hundred stakeholders and government agencies. You find that critical information is not reaching all stakeholders in a timely manner, leading to confusion and delays. What should you do? A. Implement a more stringent reporting system with an action item list and stakeholder management plan. B. Redefine the communication plan to ensure timely and effective information distribution. C. Hold daily meetings with all stakeholders to ensure information is shared as it is sent out from the project management system. And D. Assign the responsibility of communication to a dedicated team member using a RACI chart where you can track all the assigned members. Hit the pause button if you need more time, but let's take a look at the answer right now. What is the real problem in this question? Critical information, as we can read, is not reaching stakeholders in a timely manner. So in order to solve this, you should get down to the crux of the matter. And it boils down to one thing: having a solid strategy for communicating. So the answer is not A, to implement a more stringent reporting system with an action item list. This could actually add more time to the process. Holding daily meetings is only going to add more time. You want to do this in a timely manner, so it will not be C. And D is also laborious, assigning the communication to a dedicated team member using a RACI chart. While that doesn't sound bad, this is not guaranteed to solve the problem. The real problem is a communication management plan. It is called a communication plan here, which could throw people off if they were expecting to see the word management, but this is the best answer. Let's further study the rationale here. Redefine the communication plan to ensure timely and effective information distribution. Redefining the communication plan ensures the flow of information meets the project needs. A more stringent reporting system might not address the timeliness of communication. Daily meetings could be overwhelming, and assigning responsibility to one team member doesn't guarantee effective distribution to all stakeholders. Let's take a look at our final question for today. Final easy question. A project manager finds that critical problem-related information is not reaching all stakeholders in a timely manner, leading to confusion and delays. The latest schedule, team, and resource problems are usually communicated to stakeholders in a document. What is this document known as? All right, now this is a pretty easy one. The key thing here, my friends, is the word problem-related information. Problem-related information does not exist in a risk register because a risk is not a problem. A risk is an uncertain event that is not yet a problem. A risk log and a risk register are basically the same thing. An action item list is a list of actions to be taken on a project. So the best answer is an issue log. Issue log is the best answer, and that was rather easy, so we should have one more question. Let's have one more question for the day. Here is the next question, and this will be question 4 under the process domain. An information technology, IT sales and marketing project has very constrained and limited funds. During project execution, a new technological risk emerges that could jeopardize the project outcome. The project team has limited experience in this area. What should the project manager do? A, proceed with the current project management plan while performing a quantitative risk analysis, closely monitoring the project risk to ensure control. B, request additional funds to invest in technology that could mitigate the risk and generate lessons learned for similar projects. C, outsource the high-risk components to a more experienced vendor who can deliver the product sooner. Or D, conduct a risk analysis and response session with the team to develop mitigation strategies. I'll give you some more time to think about the answer. Hit the pause button if you need more time, and let's explore this. Now, this set of questions is really more for you to get into the groove of the exam. I would highly advise you to go over these 4 questions over and over again to get into the groove of how the exam questions flow. You have a problem, it is cloaked, and you get a question: what should the project manager do? If you read this question very carefully, you will see a key has been embedded here, and that key is very subtle. It says, an IT sales and marketing project has, watch this, constrained and limited funds. So right off the bat, as a result of these limited funds, there are options we are likely to not be able to do. Take a look at option C, outsource the high-risk components to a more experienced vendor. This will not be a feasible option because we don't have the funds to do that. We have limited funds. B, request additional funds to invest. It's already clear that the company is cash-strapped. We cannot ask for additional funds when the question says the project has very constrained and limited funds. It's like going back to ground zero. It's already been stated you don't have the funds. There's no point going back. That leaves us with 2 options. Proceed with the current project management plan while performing a quantitative risk analysis. Now, what is a quantitative risk analysis? A quantitative risk analysis is done to understand the quantitative measure of the risk, usually from a dollar, euro, yen, or some other currency perspective. So if we understand what the quantitative impact is monetarily, how does that help us with this risk? It said it could jeopardize the project outcome. This sounds like all you're doing is closely monitoring the risk. To ensure control? No, you have no control. This is acceptance. So this is not a sensible solution to the problem. The best solution is to conduct a risk analysis and response session with a team to develop, what's the word? Mitigation. Mitigation is better than acceptance. This sounds like it's proactive, but it's really acceptance. Therefore, D is the best option. I'm really hoping that these questions are helping you to be able to think more clearly, like you should on the exam. I also want you to take note of how some of the previous questions we looked at had pretty long options. As you can see, A, B, C, and D were all 2 lines long. This was intentional for me to be able to illustrate to you how the questions on the exam could be. Not all would be like this, but many could. Here's another example. You can see, what should you do? Sometimes you are made the project manager. So I'm really hoping that this review of these 4 questions under the process domain has helped you better understand how the exam could be posed from a process domain. Don't forget to subscribe because there will be many more questions. And don't forget to hit the like button to support the channel. Thank you very much, and I will speak to you again in the next video. Bye for now.